Hey guys.
Hey everyone.
So I'm not used to doing lives with him. Usually it is in the morning when he's in the background interrupting my day with my coffee, or as he claims, me all up in his way while
usually she's in my way.
while I'm making my coffee. Happy wife, happy life. We already know this. I get my coffee first.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we're gonna try. I've got two cameras pointing at me, so it's really weird. So if I look like I'm looking this way or this way, that is why. Because this is on his page as well as mine. So just bear with us because this is very much unedited. So, all right. Usually about this time in the day, I try to sit down and I try to really write something out that either happened in the day that made me, really think about how much this business has done for my family, or why I started it. Honestly, never thought I would. Y'all can tell I've taken over this live because he's just sitting back waiting for me to.
I just let the smart one talk.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so I mean, I start thinking about the things that have come from this, and I also start thinking about the things of why it took me so long to join and to do this. And I mean, they're normal fears, but I can remember, if y'all don't know our story at all, because I know we have a lot of new friends, I know that there's no way I've talked to everybody because I have so many friends, even though I see all of y'all's stuff and I love all the kid pictures and all the life posts and everything. Y'all make my feed just like amazing. And so many inspirational people. Just thank you for that because I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is.
I'm really bad about posting, so a lot of y'all don't actually hear from me near as much as you should.
No, I tag you and they see all of me. So they're probably wondering whose page it actually is.
I really am real.
I took it over. It's my page. Sorry, guys. So if you're friends with Sean Lowry, you're actually friends with me too, mostly because that's who you're seeing all the time. But anyways, so I lost my train of thought. My kids are outside and I'm afraid they're going to bust through the door. Okay, so if y'all don't know our story at all, a little background, honestly, is this year was the hardest year in our entire life. I mean, honestly, I'm not exaggerating that at all. I told y'all my kids were about to bust in. Hold on. Hi, baby.
Hi.
All right, go play for a few more minutes. Mom life, what you gonna do, right? All right, so, and I swear they know. It's like a sense. They're like, oh, they're doing something important. We're going to go in. Anyways, okay. So, honestly, this year. Now the second one.
I got the ball.
Okay, go play. I knew this was going to happen. We were going to do it outside, but it was getting dark. So we decided we would come inside because they were on the trampoline. And now I'm all over the place. But anyways, okay. So this year was the absolute scariest, most challenging year that we have ever had. My husband over here started a lawn care company 4 years ago, right? 4 years now? 4 years ago. And I thought that was tough. I remember the day he came home and he was doing management at restaurants. And he came home and he was working super late shifts, and I'm going to get through this. He was working super late shifts. Go play.
I got a bottle.
I swear my house sounds like a haunted house because all the just
random doors, cabinets, things move in the middle of the night.
Or you wake up and they're in your face.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's happened many times. But I'm going to try to stay on track as much as I have a lot of distractions going on with my very cute, very crazy children. But anyways, I remember the night he came home and he had just gotten off a really late shift. And
Hello, Luke.
Luke, say hi and then go play.
Hi.
All right, go play. he had gotten off a really late shift. I promise I'm going to get through this. And I came downstairs because it was probably, what, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning?
At least 2.
And
Probably later.
I came downstairs and he was sitting in my kitchen floor and just, I didn't even know what to take from this. And I remember him just being done and him telling me, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I mean, we were living paycheck to paycheck. Honestly, we would get paid every 2 weeks, and I was staying home at that time because my youngest now is 5. He was baby. And I was doing school too at that time. I was doing the college classes. So I was doing that online. And, but he came home and he just said he was done. And we were getting paid every 2 weeks, and we had enough money to cover our bills most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time you made enough because sometimes you picked up shifts that gave you tips instead of managing. So we were used to that life, you know, that life of being terrified that a shift was going to be like shorter, or he wasn't going to be able to pick up that extra shift to make tips on top of his management pay that he was getting. And then he comes home and he tells me, I'm just done. And that was it. Y'all know how scary that is? I was terrified. The man had been talking about a lawn care company for months. I just thought he was full of it.
I tried to warn her.
I thought he was full of it. He mentioned it to me on our wedding day, guys.
Yeah. Just snuck it right in there.
Yeah, but I thought he was full of it. I thought he was just talking, that it was just some, dream or whatever that, that we couldn't do. I mean, who does that, right? He does.
I do. And I'm sure so many of you can relate to it. I was just so tired of dealing with the idiots, the negativity, the crap that you deal with in the industry. And then on top of it, I was working 6 or 7 days a week.
You were never home.
I would get up and get ready to leave about 10 o'clock in the morning. Wasn't getting home till sometime after 2 a.m. because we didn't close till then.
I was about to say, the entire time you were home, it was to sleep and to get up and shower and leave. Yeah. So our kids weren't even getting to see him.
Just to live in a state where literally if we had a $50 part break on the car, we didn't have the money for it.
Oh, and by the way, our credit was so bad that we couldn't even have credit cards to help try to support that part, which isn't exactly great anyways, because then you're just adding more to you. But we didn't have options, like, at all. If something broke, we were screwed. I mean, honestly, that's how we lived. And then I know I mentioned it this morning in my live because I've been going live so much lately. Holidays coming up. That was a wreck for me. Guys, I remember getting free stuff. Your battery's going.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
I remember getting free stuff because people, like, it was those give groups. Like, they're on Facebook and they would give you used toys for other moms that couldn't afford anything. Because I didn't know how to do the Toys for Tots or whatever, and honestly, every time I thought about it, it was way too late. And honestly, I kept telling myself that I would figure it out and that I didn't need the help. I was really stubborn in that way too. I wanted to take care of my family, and he did too. But so he comes home that night, tells me he's just done. He gives them his keys the next morning.
Yep. And
we had no money, like nothing, except for our tax return. He started that lawn care company with a push mower and a really cheap weed eater. I don't even know. Did you buy an edger the first year?
Yeah.
And then one of the little bitty hand blowers that doesn't do anything. It just makes you think it does. So he started that and he built it, and I'm really proud. That I thought was terrifying. But every year it would get to this time of the year and
things start slowing down.
All the business was slowed down and it was back to being terrified. And then on top of that, I didn't realize how much it would cost to run a lawn care company. Holy hell. you've got people that to actually get anything done, you have to have labor. Oh my God, we've had so much stuff break. It's ridiculous. It was tough, and it wasn't getting built the way he wanted it to get built. So fast forwarding to this year, like I said, was the hardest, scariest, faith-wrenching year, I have to say, because I questioned a lot of things, like a lot. I couldn't understand why God would even let us go through a part of the stuff.
Yeah.
So at the end of last year, I decided to pick up a waitressing job to help with bills. He was slowing down in work. We were broke. We needed the money. I got a waitressing job, and I was good at it. I mean, I have waitressed before, but going back into it, I was really good at it. I was making, $500 a week or something like that with the holidays and everything going on. And I was coming home January 1st, and I had pulled doubles, and we homeschool our kids, so I was doing that. So I was stretching myself thin on top of him, working and doing what he could with leaf cleanups and all that stuff. And I had a car accident right down the road, actually scared me to death. I totaled my van. I had him come pick me up, and I mean, that was a vehicle down that we couldn't afford to fix, or couldn't afford to get another one.
No.
Couldn't afford to have another car payment. Honestly, I think that happened because we really couldn't afford that car payment. And I had to go to the hospital the next day because I broke my ankle, and I was too stubborn to go.
Yeah, she was too dang stubborn.
I was too stubborn to go to the hospital. And I broke my ankle. It took forever to get in to see a surgeon. It took forever to get a surgery scheduled. And guys, I've broken a lot of bones, and that is by far the worst one. I've never felt more depressed, being laid up, and unable to take care of my family. When he's coming home and he's doing the laundry and he's cooking on top of working, and I can't, take my kids anywhere because I don't have that extra vehicle anymore, and I can't drive, and I can't cook for them, and I couldn't do anything. That was a low, probably the lowest I've been in a really long time. And on top of it, we lost that income that was helping us finally catch up on bills. And so I finally got my surgery scheduled, and the day before I was supposed to have surgery, I had 3 strokes out of nowhere. I've never had the health problems like that. I never had any kind of issues. So in a matter of months, I had a car accident. We were financially scared again, and then I had more health issues with having strokes and being in the hospital for a week, and they couldn't find anything.
Still don't know why.
Yeah, we still don't know why. I'm on like a couple preventative medications, and they took me off other medications so that whatever. But in such a short period of time, we went from feeling like we were catching up to lower than we've ever been. He felt like he almost lost me twice, and we couldn't pay bills yet again.
And guys, we aren't even out of January yet.
No, we're not in January. We're going to skip faster, though, because we've already been on here long enough and probably are boring the hell out of y'all at this point. But go ahead.
I was going to say, so then February rolls around. My business starts really picking back up in March. And we start getting equipment ready and really getting everything together. By March, midway through March, every single piece of equipment I owned had to be replaced. We went through new motors, every single piece of equipment.
Did you mention that we had already had them updated for the year? We already paid the money out.
To have them maintenance, to have them ready for the year, and then they all broke.
Yep.
I mean, completely broke. It's buy new, brand new equipment, buy new motors.
Oh, and here's my favorite part. Ready? We got those fixed. Thank God for a great mechanic down here that let us do make little payments. Everything gets up and running. Everything breaks. Then we get it back up and running. As soon as we get our stuff back and running, his truck blows up.
Yep. Completely blown motor in it.
So now we're down both vehicles and have zero. Have y'all been a family that has no way of going anywhere? Because we've been that family, unfortunately. And anyone that has been in that situation, I am so sorry because I know your pain. It's not okay. Thankfully, our neighbor gave Sean his truck and said, use it to work, and we're not leaving you over there with those babies with no way of, being able to take them or if anything happens. So that was a godsend all itself. But so we had all that happen in a matter of 2.5 months, right? So yeah, y'all could think I was absolutely depressed. I absolutely had no idea how we were going to survive or what we were going to do or anything. And then I'm sitting in the room one day, and I had already seen this girl posting on Facebook that I went to high school with about this business, and she was getting to go do stuff with her family, and I was so jealous. I was so mad. Honestly, I was mad. I wasn't even just jealous. I was mad because I didn't understand why somebody else was getting to do stuff and I wasn't able to. And I had ignored the post before. I had just gone on whatever, and she made a post that day and was getting to start building her dream house. And y'all don't know me, but that is like a huge thing for me. Disney World, taking my kids to Disney World and building me a house. Huge things in my book. And that was the other thing. We had to cancel our Disney World trip because of all the stuff that came out. Like we have been making payments since 2018.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get to go. So I had to try to get my money back, and I couldn't take my kids. And y'all, that broke me. I was so mad because that was a non-negotiable. I'm just really glad I didn't tell my kids about it. It was going to be a surprise. But so we had all this stuff happen. And I'm sitting in the room one day and I see this post, and I felt it. I just felt like I'm not doing anything different and nothing's changing. What is going to be the harm of me stepping out of my comfort zone? Because hell, I don't like where I am right now. I don't like what I'm doing or unable to do. So I stepped out of my comfort zone and I reached out to her. She thought I was reaching out to her about coffee. I was like, no. I want to know about the business. I want to know how to make money. And I want to know how to make money sitting in my bed because I can't do anything else. And he came home. Y'all, we had no money. We had no money to spend. He came home and I looked at him and...
Yeah, so I came in while borrowing the neighbor's truck to pull my equipment and work, just trying to get enough money together so that we can buy another vehicle so I can work all the time. And I walk in the door. I don't even think I made it in the door. I think you met me outside.
No, I sat on the porch.
And she looks at me and goes, so I did something.
I did something. That was my explanation to him. That was not me calling him and saying, hey, can I, or whatever. Because at that point, I usually talk to him about everything. Honestly, I do. And I always value his opinion on the things that we have going in our life. But that day, I just felt like it was what we were supposed to do. It was what I was supposed to do. And I needed that for me, honestly. I wanted the way to make things different, but I also needed that for me personally. And I don't even know if I still understand why I needed it so much for me. But he did. He came in the door and I said I did something. And what's the first question to that is, how did you do it? We don't have the money.
Yeah.
How could you possibly? I overdrafted our bank account. Probably not my finest, most responsible moment, but I do not regret it.
No, not one bit.
No, I don't. I was terrified. I was like, as soon as I did it, as soon as I signed up, I was like, what did I just do? Because let me backtrack here too. I've done stuff like this before. One time I tried to do Mary Kay, not knocking the company. It did not fit me. I bombed so hard. I know people that have like excelled so much at that company, and actually one of my really good friends does that company. But I bombed so hard, and I swore I would never try it again, never do any of this again. And I just felt like I needed to do it. So I have children running through my house. So I did. And guys, like, I questioned myself every step of the way, but I kept doing it. And I got my products in, and I started seeing results, and I got excited, and then he was, telling me I look really good, and so that made me feel better. Which he always tells me I'm beautiful, but when we start measuring and getting inches off, and I can see it personally, then those compliments mean something. So, sorry.
Yeah, she believes me once she sees results.
When the scale tells me, and when my tape measure tells me as well. Yeah, that's when I believe it. But the point of this is that I know there's so many people that had no idea that we went through any of this, or that we're still not where we want to be. We're still growing every single day. We're still going after our goals, and we've hit goals. We've got huge goals, honestly, at this point, because I have opened up enough to start dreaming about, I don't have to have a paycheck to paycheck life. I don't have to be scared all the time. And guys, that's saying something, because I am. I have always been the worrier. I've always been terrified of what if. I've had some major things happen in my life that made me become the person that is scared of everything. I can remember the day that I put my kids on the bus because I had a traumatic event in my family, and I was terrified my kids weren't coming back. That's how worried I let myself get. It is absolutely crazy. But I know that there's a lot of people that look at my profile, or look at Sean's profile, which is my profile, and go play. Sorry. And y'all probably see these pictures and think, oh my God, she's like got this perfect life, and they don't have a worry in the world, and I wish my life could be like that, or whatever. We're normal people. We got worries. I got 3 children in there that I swear to God want to do jumps off the roof of my house. I'm pretty sure I should be having
You really
more
shouldn't have said that so loud.
Oh, yeah, probably not. But hospital bills, I have worries all the time. I just took a step outside of my comfort zone to take one of my worries away, to work towards so much better, towards things that are so much better, to take away that worry of, am I going to be able to pay my bills on time? Am I going to be able to buy Christmas and not have to have someone give me free stuff? Am I going to, I don't know. Oh, we turned around and we bought conference tickets for our company that's next year. We were able to do that. I'm not worried that we can't go. That'll be a first trip for us, and I don't even know how long, because we didn't even get a honeymoon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like 4 years.
I ramble a lot, so he doesn't get to talk.
It's okay. I don't need to talk that much. But no, and it's like, y'all, everything has changed in our life, even if we still have worries. Amber found something that fulfills her, where she gets to help other people do exactly what she's doing. And I pretend and I play at it. I'm like, yeah, here, I'll make a post once every 3 days. Some of y'all see my stories. I'm fairly good about posting those, unless I have a day like yesterday where I didn't do anything. Sorry. But, the big difference is how much it's really starting to open up options for us. Like, y'all are going to start seeing a whole lot of stuff from me about full-time families. That's
Yes.
our next big goal.
That is our next big goal. I want him home, because I don't want to take care of all 3 of our kids by myself.
We're going to look at selling my business off and closing it down, because we can. We don't ever, as men, we don't ever really talk about it, because we don't think it's an option. How can we stay home?
I don't
with
know
our
who's
wife
giving me
and our
all the
kids?
hearts, but I love you.
It's just not talked about. It's not something that happens. But now that's what we're looking at doing. where we get to be home together as a family for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if we want. I can be here to help homeschool the kids. We can go anywhere we want, when we want.
Oh, and that just fits into our life anyways because we homeschool our kids. So having where he's not stuck somewhere working, I'm not stuck somewhere working, and I can work wherever I want. And he can jump in and start doing more of this as well, which he already does a whole lot, honestly, for me with all the background stuff. So I don't have to deal with it. But we are going to have that option, and that is our big goal right now. Our big goal is I'm getting my husband out of working outside of this house, out of working off of his, not working off his phone. He needs to work off his phone. It's a possibility. Why not do it? Yeah. So, I mean, you're going to see a lot about full-time family because that is our goal that we are going after. And we're going to take you every step of the way. I mean, we will be posting about every accomplishment we hit because I know that this business is going to take me there and so much farther. I would love for more people to know that it can do it too for them. I understand the worry. I had the worry every single day after I joined. I thought I was absolutely nuts and that I don't know, was desperate and misread or something. And that's not what it was. It was God telling me, and if you believe in God, I do. But I was being told that this is what I needed to do. And I did it. And I think we have bored the crap out of people.
Oh, probably. Y'all, overall, we understand the situations you're in. We get it. We just want you to know there is hope and you can change your lives. And we just like sharing our lives so that you really can see that you can live more and live better.
And I don't even know, I don't think we even mentioned it after all that stuff that was happening to us at the beginning of the year. I know I've mentioned it in posts before, but we couldn't pay our rent. A church paid our rent for a month. My dad paid my utility bill for that same month.
My parents gave us money.
Your parents, and they didn't have it either. I mean, it was embarrassing.
Completely.
To have to ask for it and to have someone else do it. And I mean, it's embarrassing being an adult, being a parent and feeling like you can't take care of your kids. But the thing is, you can. Sometimes it's just not the path that you thought you were going down. Sometimes the path is a whole lot better when you're going down a whole different one. Like, I don't know if that made sense, but I never saw myself going down this path. Yeah. I never thought I would be good at this. I never thought that people would want to buy from me or be on the same team with me, or, that I could have people believe in me, because that's always been a struggle. I put myself down my entire life. I've literally let people tell me or make me feel inadequate in every way. So that was another perk of joining this business, is I found myself. I found a whole new, better version of me. And I really believe that was one of the best things. I mean, the paycheck and that's what I was going for. And don't get me wrong, that's a big part of this. But on top of it, I found who I am. I get to help other people find who they can be, want to be, and they get to help their families and have a completely different life if they choose. So, I mean, that's my rant. You got anything else?
No, it's been awesome. It's been a great journey so far, and we're looking forward to the next years. And
we're only 5 months in, so it's amazing. All right, we love you guys. I'm sorry that I ramble so much, but you love me, right?
Bye, y'all.
Bye.